All right. I want to start off with, I hope I, almost cut off. I'm going to start off and talking about the astronomical origin and true meaning of Christmas as that is approaching us. Now, Barry Shango, you know who Barry Shango is? Barry Shango wrote a 2-volume book called The European Holidays and African People Mental Genocide. European Holiday and African People Mental Genocide. Now, I love my brother. I love my dear brother. He has to transition. This transition. And he's meaning well, but the title, which is the mental genocide, is referring to them as European holidays. That's the mental genocide. That's the disconnect. That he referred to the holidays as European holidays is the mental genocide, is the disconnect. That creates the disconnect. Malana Karenga developed Kwanzaa, December 26th, the day after Christmas, to December 31st. Now, I've never heard Malana Karenga say that he developed Kwanzaa as a substitute for Christmas. However, over the past 25 years, I have heard hundreds of people say that they use Kwanzaa as a substitute for Christmas, that they no longer celebrate Kwanzaa, no longer celebrate Christmas, all right, and now they celebrate Kwanzaa instead. I have heard hundreds of people say that over a 25-year period. I'm not saying Malana Karenga said that, all right? Now, Malana Karenga, the Europeans have commercialized our holiday, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Halloween, Ash Wednesday, July, Egyptian holiday, July 4th, you name it. They have commercialized our holidays. So I guess one of the points that Malana Karenga brought out is that is not to get caught up in the commercialization. But it would have been great if he and others had reclaimed the holiday and told the truth about the holiday. Instead of developing something else, do that which is, that our ancestors celebrated, not developing something else. And so people seeing that as, you know, European, Christmas being the European holiday, which they call the white man. Not knowing that they don't know that white refers to sovereignty and rulership. All right? So the Europeans have commercialized it. They have claimed ownership of the holiday, Christmas, as well as all of them. They put their faces on them. I myself thought Christmas, as well as the other holidays, was European holidays. I didn't celebrate Christmas, Valentine's Day, Ash Wednesday, Day of the you name it, Halloween, Thanksgiving, for a period of 10 years, because I was like the so-called Afrocentric. I didn't say Afrocentric, folks, so-called. I wasn't Afrocentric because I didn't celebrate Christmas, I was so-called Afrocentric. I thought I was Afrocentric. I thought I was Afrocentric by not celebrating Halloween, not celebrating Christmas, not celebrating July 4th, not celebrating Valentine's Day, not celebrating Groundhog's Day. I'm going to get into all these. Ash Wednesday, Palm Sunday, I can break them down. I thought I was so-called Afrocentric, and turned only to find out that those holidays belong to us. As I said before, the title, African European Holidays and African People Mental Genocide, that is a distorted title. And I love my brother, Barry Shango, all right, so I'm not trying to throw dirt on Barry Shango, all right? I'm just trying to clear things up, all right? I'm not attacking Barry Shango. I'm just clarifying that title, that these holidays are not, we're empowering the Europeans by referring to them as European holidays and not claiming them as they are ours. Yes, they have commercialized it, but that doesn't mean that we should step away from it. Reclaim it and put it in its rightful perspective. Because we commercialized it, the power of bees to restore its astronomical and geometrical meaning and origin. Not to let it linger, European holiday, How are we empowering our people? By doing that. All right? So the death, Christmas, the winter solstice, the concept of the death and resurrection is a universal, worldwide concept that's rooted in astronomy, that's rooted in the winter solstice and the birth of the sun, Christmas. That's worldwide. Islam. Different names: Mithra, Krishna, Haru, Zoroaster, Dionysus, Attis. Various names. There's a book called The 16 Crucified Saviors by Percy Graves. So the concept of a crucified Savior is actually rooted in astronomy, not some real man. There was no man that ever walked this planet called Jesus. Jesus, the name Jesus, has an ancient origin, going back over 10,000 years. The IE, you have what they call a bilateral root system. The ancient languages dealt with two roots, or a bilateral root system. The so-called Semitic languages deal with a tri-consonantal root system, which comes from the older bilateral root system. So you have the Chaldean words, Egyptian words, Babylonian words that were transliterated into a new language stock called Semitic languages. Semitic language stock is a new language. It's not a language stock coming out of an ancient language stock. So the Semitic languages, there was three roots, or what's called a tri-consonantal root system, based on a bilateral root system. You have the IE, the IO, the IA, the IU. IU, Chaldean. All right? You have the IO, Phoenician, IA, Babylonian, IE, Egyptian. These are ancient, this is on the ancient root system. So the Europeans, transliterating, developing a new language stock called Semitic languages. So the name Jesus, you have here, IES, IE, SOS. The OS is a Greek masculine determinate ending. The ES, JESUS, the US is a Latin masculine determinate ending. US is Latin, masculine determinate ending. OS is a Greek masculine determinate ending. You have the suffix ending in Egyptian, S-E-P-H, as in the name Joseph. The name Joseph, S-E-P-H, is a masculine suffix ending in Egyptian. The I-O, the J-O, which is the I-O, all right? Also the I-E, all right? Judah, here we go. Judah, the line of Judah is astronomy. The sun in Leo. The sun in Leo. The line of Judah. It's all based in astronomy. So we say these things, but we don't know its reference points, its referent, its indicator, its pointer. So that's the keys. What does it refer to? What the Greeks did was use a system of abstract form of translation where you have Hebrew, Egyptian, and Chaldean languages that are based in concrete, agriculture, concrete. The Greeks removed that concept of concreteness by removing the referent, the object, and now it becomes abstract. So we say names, we say words like spirit. Yeah, the spirit in me. Yeah, the spirit in this room. The spirit has come over me. We don't know the world we're talking about. We are parroting. We're parroting. We're not analyzing. We're parroting from childhood. Spirit over me. Spirit in me. Spirit going to come. We're just parroting, y'all. You got a society of parrots. What is the reference point? Referent, indicator, pointer, marker. The etymology of the word spirit means breath. Spirituality is a system of systematic breathing. Oh, the spirit. It's abstract. What? Give me the referent. Marker. The word marker refers to what? This object in my hand. Indicates, points to, refers to. This is the reference point. So what is this reference point for the word spirit? We can break it down by the physics. What is the physics of breath? How many electrons, protons, and neutrons? What is the chemistry of it? The chemical compound of breath. Give it to me. All right? CO2, right? One element of carbon and two elements of oxygen. All right? Science. That's what we dealt with. This has been removed. Now it's abstract. Abstract. Spirit. God is going to come get you. God coming from the Sanskrit word kuda, which means to invoke. So we're dealing with a form of higher mental thinking. So you invoke thought as you increase your frequency, as you increase the chakras, and begin that pineal glands begin to activate. And you are guiding, so you can use with this power, the sound, lift this chair with your mind. So that now that knowledge of ancient mind science and sound, pineal gland resonance and sound has been suppressed. So the knowledge of the word God has been suppressed. The people looking at, so they see the word, they see God as something outside of themselves. As for those to higher forms of thinking. the activation of the pineal gland. So knowing that the pineal gland, you look at ancient world culture, looking at statues in Vietnam, Egypt, Mexico, China, Thailand, you see a snake. Vietnam, you see huge statues, a snake protruding, 7 of them, 7 chakras. You see, the snake is revered. We're not throwing the snake. We're not cutting the snake up. We're not stepping on the snake. In fact, they use it on what? Ambulance. Oh. They took it from you and they use it in your face. They took it from you and they use it in your face, and you've seen it all your life, and you have called the snake something evil. You will call someone you intend. You use it when the word snake is used in a modern, distorted, connotated sense. It refers to somebody who's deceptive. The snake refers to somebody who's wise. Oh, he's a snake in the grass. That snake. You're misusing the words. But once again, we're parrots. We're parrots. You're misusing it. And you see it on ambulances. You've seen it on ambulances all your life. Healing. Going up the rod, which is what? The spine. You'll see what? The double helix or DNA strand. They remove the science. You have the science, you can pick it up. You don't have the science, you can't pick it up. It's evil, deceptive. Don't you dare call me. Tell you what, tell y'all. Y'all can call me a snake anytime y'all want. I will not be insulted. That's the highest honor you can give anyone. The highest honor you can give anyone is by calling them a snake. I know they will punch you in your face. Why? Because the people out there have been distorted. The Europeans have used social engineering. So if you call somebody a snake, they'll punch you in your face. I understand that. I understand that they will punch you in your face if you were to call them a snake. We understand why. You see the power that the Europeans have over us? That you can't even wear the swastika. And somebody look at you cross-eyed. What you doing with the swastika? Huh? You a Hitler follower. You run for the crucifixion of Jews. How dare you wear that swastika? Controlling your mind again. Hitler brought in Tibetan monks. Germany rose up to be the world leader in mind, science, technology. They used ancient mind, science, and pineal gland resonance to build human war machines. Those characters, 1935, the Germans had those experiments in the 1930s. The characters of the X-Men are not made-up characters. Those characters of X-Men, Superman, Spider-Man, all those that we've seen growing up, are based on true German experiments on humans. So the Germans were using your science for war. Their intention was to use it for war, to develop human war machines. Flash, Wonder Woman, Superman. Of course, they're fake, and that's just Hollywood. No, it's not. Not Hollywood. Based on the German experiments using your ancient knowledge of mind, science, technology. We use sound, our technology, is based on sound and pineal gland resonance. The Europeans use that today. They call it what? Harp. But you are the harp. They need a machine. You don't. It's still based off of you. Harp is you. Harp is based off of you. They need the machine. You are the machine. As you increase your pineal gland resonance, sound, you can manipulate the elements. What does harp do? Manipulate the elements. But you can do with your mind. They're using that which is based off your body to develop art. It's not new. It's just starting a machine. That's all. It's not new technology. Unit technology. It's just put in the machine. That's it. That's all it is. So this is where you have the emphasis of the snake, the ass, the dragon, the Leviathan, worldwide, as is one worldwide culture. But they made you see the snake as evil, deceptive, wicked. Meanwhile, they use it right in your face. Right in your face. Hey, gotta give it to him. Gotta give it to him. Gene in the house. Gene in the house. All right? Any questions? His brother's crazy. You don't know what he's talking about? Throw him out. Why the Ross Malone Annie invite him here? All right? So now, yes. Which what? I mean, you talking about the mind science? You have the Gerald Massey's book. Gerald Massey's book, Egypt, the Light of the World, volumes 1 and 2. All right, Gerald Massey's books are good, and then he gives you the etymology of also a book called the Arcana of Freemasonry. Arcana of Freemasonry by Albert Churchwood. Arcana of Freemasonry by Albert Churchwood. Gerald Massey's book, Egypt, the Light of the World, volumes 1 and 2. Gerald Massey gives you the etymology of the Bible. You begin of the names that are in the Bible, and you see that they're based in astronomy. They're actually not people. So when you're reading the Bible, you're not reading about people, but because you don't know the etymology, you think they're people because you were told that. You're looking at it literally. You don't know how to read it. You're not reading it etymologically. You're reading it connotatively, and the Europeans placed the connotative meaning on it. So they took ownership, they claimed ownership over the book by distorted translations, by distorting the images. And like I said, they're not people, though. They're not people. We personify the star Sirius or the Big Dipper. They're called the Great Bear or Venus, the moon, into particularly Pleiades, into females. You know, Pleiades, Venus, Sirius were personified as women. Why? Because it dealt with agriculture. It's big agriculture. So you're looking at the life-giving qualities that Sirius brings forth by bringing about the annual flooding of the Nile River is associated with life-giving qualities of females. That's why. That's why the deities, ancient deities, are females. That's why. The Europeans got you thinking that it's the male. So we don't bow to a woman. We bow to male figures. See the power they taking from you? You don't bow to male figures. Who do you know worldwide that bows to female figures? That's not done in the public worldwide now. Worldwide, it's male figures. Worldwide, male figures. Worldwide, the world bows to male images. About the masses. The masses worldwide bow to male images. They strip you of the power. The Shriners use your Moorish scimitar above the head of the crescent and the star and a shrunken hair symbolizing a woman. So you have the moon. You have societies whose life, their whole way of life was based on the lunar calendar. Walk with me for a minute. Stand up for me, please. All right, we outside at night. We're walking along. We see a goat, right? Horns. And we see the crescent moon. Oh, what's your name? Delia. Oh, look at the crescent moon. Look at the goat. You know what we're going to use? We're going to use the goat as our symbol for our society. Because the goat, the horns of a goat, what? Resemble what? The crescent moon. What did the Europeans do? I'm breaking it down plain, bro. I'm making it plain, fam. Making it plain. What did the Europeans do? That which you made sacred, they distorted it. They took an ordinary goat symbolizing the lunar calendar and made it gory and called it the devil. The devil, that gory character, comes from the ordinary goat of men out of Egypt. They distorted it. You have societies who use the lunar calendar. They started their what? Their day at night sunset. Lunar calendar. Their day started when they saw what? The moon. They had what? Sin. The Sumerian name for the moon. What did the Europeans do this with this word? Thank you. Thank you. Friday the 13th. Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh man, it's bad luck day. Oh. And today's Friday the 13th. Oh, I gotta be careful. Watch my step. It's bad luck. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not up here exaggerating. People, trust me. Just observe. On Friday the 13th, people in conversation. Oh, they Friday the 13th. Oh, bad luck day. They get all nervous and stuff. You know what I mean? Who did that? What does it mean? If you don't know what this means. You don't know what you love it. Friday, Old North, Prega. Old North. Viernes Dias, day of Venus. So Friday is the day of Venus, tied to the Venusian calendar, which is a 270-day calendar, used in the Mesoamerica area. You have the corn maze and rain. Around March and April, you have heavy rain. So the hills called the helical rising of Venus brings about the rain, and it's tied to the corn maze. They distorted that. They took your way of life, that which you use, your whole way of life, and they distorted it. Your way of life, amulets, statuettes, or crescent, bracelets, with crescents. They took your whole way of life, the goat, and they distorted it. But since you don't know the origin of anything, of course, we're going right along with it because it's through social engineering, of course. Tremendous mental power. Tremendous mental power they have over us. Tremendous. They control the literature and the institutions. Tremendous mental power. Social engineering. Any questions? I'll go on. Going to Christmas. All right, but yes. Yes. Aries? No, that's Mars. Mars. Venus is Libra. That's Libra. Yeah, but what I'm talking about, where I'm talking astronomy, where we had there's a calendar, the Venetian 270-day calendar, the Venetian calendar. In fact, you also had clocks that had a hand for Venus, Moon, Venus, of course the Sun, Moon, and Venus. Because there are other clocks that had for all the planets. All right. So there's the heliacal rising of Venus ties to rain. The heliacal rising of Sirius ties to the annual flooding of the Nile River. So they both tie to water. All right? And we use it to mark our calendar and use it for agriculture and built a society around it. As society was built around agriculture. And this is why deities are referred to as females. We need to be bound to female images. I mean, if you're going to bow to an image, make it female, please. If you're going to bow to a statue, make it female. Please don't bow to no male statues. Don't bow to no male picture. Don't bow to no male image. They strip you of your power. Bow to a female image, female statue. I mean, you want to bow, all right? Female. And I'm not saying I'm giving you a reason, telling you why. That's why females, the deities were females. And this is worldwide. Deities were not males. How does male tie to agriculture? Females give life. They have the breath. So they sustain you after you come out of the womb. So it's not putting down males, it's putting in its proper perspective. All right? We claim our power. All right, so we know that Jesus means the Son. Now notice that there is a heavy emphasis on sun deities. Jesus, Krishna, Mithra, Zoroaster, Attis, Adonis, Bacchus, RVBey, Bacchus, all right? Hercules, Haru. But what about the moon? What is the emphasis on the moon deities? Sinana. Oh, that sin is evil. You're born in sin. Ooh. The wages of the world is sin, see? Moon deities having what? Made evil. They what? Lift the solar deities, Jesus, Krishna, Zoroaster, Mystus. And then referring to the number 13, unlucky number 13, see? And then I'm showing you, these are things that you know. That refers to the moon has been what? Made what? See? Exactly. All right, what's the key? You have your solar calendar. Your lunar calendar. The lunar calendar is older. All right? we have this conflict or this debate. What day is the Sabbath on? What is that rooted on? What is that rooted in? What is that debate rooted in? That debate, what day is it? Or the Sabbath is on Sunday. You got those that say the Sabbath is on Saturday. What is that rooted in, though? Why the debate? What is the origin of the debate? Because the debate is out there. Some go to church on Sunday. Some go to church on Saturday. Some say the Sabbath. The word Sabbath means 7. And the number 7 relates to what? The moon. Also the 7 inner planets as well as the moon. 7 days in a week. In the lunar calendar, Egyptian calendar, 10. Lunar calendar, society does with the lunar calendar, 7 days. Why? You can count, right? I know how to count, right? This is why. This is why it's 7 days. It's math. That's all. It's all math. Not no belief. It's math. New moon. All right? First quarter, full moon, last quarter. There we go. Like I go and go back to the new moon. These are 28 days. Yeah, you ain't got to believe. I don't want you to believe anything I'm saying. That means because we're not dealing with belief, we're dealing with math. So there's nothing to believe here. We're dealing with math. That's all. It's math. It's math class. So we're not dealing with belief. All right. So we have from the new moon, because you can't see the new moon. That's why it's black. You can't see the new moon. From the new moon to the first quarter moon, 7 days. First quarter moon to full moon, 7 days. Full moon, last quarter moon, 7 days. Right? Completing the cycle, last quarter, back to what? The moon, 7 days, 28 days. Just add it up. Do your math. You count it yourself. Count it yourself. Count it yourself. 28 days. Count it yourself. All right? So the word moon, the Indo-European root, is made with the macron above the E. It means measure. So the moon is a measure of time based on what? The cycles of the moon. The word menses, menstruation, is derived from moon. Month. Menses. All have the same etymology. They stored it. All right? So this is just warming y'all up for Christmas, John, here, getting ready for the Christmas lecture. I'm going to go into my book too, but I just want to, since Christmas is coming, all right, I'm going to give you some astronomical facts here. All right? So let's look at it. All right, I gave you the etymology of Jesus. Let me give you the etymology of Christmas. We have Christ, Christianity. All right? You have the Egyptian, Karas, K-R-C. You have the Sanskrit, Krishna. Right? H-R-I, Krishna. K-H-R-I-S-N-A, Krishna. The Sanskrit, Karas, Egyptian. Now, Karas, the Europeans call it the mummy. Not the mummy, it's Karas. The Europeans call it the mummy. And the linen was laced with melanin, high concentration of melanin. So a Christian is one who has melanin. Ain't got nothing to do with no belief, no worshiping, nothing. Has everything to do with chemistry. Organic chemistry. Organic chemistry, not chemistry, organic chemistry is a study of carbon. Carbon. And one million different combinations of carbon, organic chemistry. Yeah. Organic chemistry. Talking about the word Christian now, all right? Ain't got to do no belief, no worshiping, nothing. Everything to do with melanin and the sun. Because the melanin and the sun are related. All right? The melanin stimulates the serotonin and melatonin in your brain. So you're looking at the sun and carbon are like hand and glove. I'm talking about the word Christian now. So that you have what they call the open mouth ceremony. The open mouth ceremony, so you're looking at the raising of the mummy or the kara. The oil that what they call use as a ritual will put oil on the remains, on the pineal gland. But that's we call it hippopotamus oil. But that's a ritual. That's symbolic. What is it symbolic of? The anointment. The word anoint means to smear with oil. And that oil is secreted in the brain. So they use just a symbolic ceremonial for that which happens chemically, biologically. Of course, we don't know anything about our ancient sciences and culture. And Europeans telling us what other things mean. All right? So Krishna, when you're looking at the sun, so Christmas refers to is a astronomical phenomenon when the sun is reborn every year. The sun dies on December 21st, and I'll go in more detail. On December 21st, the sun dies. It's called the winter solstice. And let me explain. You have your solstitial points are major in calculation. Coming back, though? It's boring. You have your solstitial points. So let's look at the word solstice. Sol is the Latin word for sun. STI is the root word which means stand. Now we know that the sun doesn't move. So we're talking about apparent motion. The apparent motion of the sun. The sun appears to stand still, all right, for 3 days. So it's the apparent motion of the sun. So you have the solstices, the winter solstice and the summer solstice are the outer limits of the outer boundaries or outer limits of the sun's apparent motion before it makes the turn. So it apparently stops for 3 days, right? In the case of the December 21st, the sun is at its lowest point of declination. It's died. The sun is dead. The sun is dead. It's at its lowest point. It can't go lower. It is its most southerly point. It's lays in a tomb for 3 days. So Jesus is dead. in the tomb for 3 days. He's born again on December 25th. What I want you to do, those who are listening, so you can see it for yourself. I have it right here. You're going to look up the sunrise and sunset times. They'll just give you New York. Sunrise and sunset times for New York. Those who are in California, they'll do it for California. If you do it for the East Coast. But if you just look up the sunrise and sunset, it's going to give you New York. So you're on the East Coast. Those who are on the West Coast, they're going to give them West Coast time. All right? And what you'll see that the days, the sun will rise earlier in the day, incrementally, a minute or two a day, incrementally, rising earlier. Days are getting longer, incrementally, 1 to 2 minutes a day, 1 to 2 minutes a day, 1 to 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes, incrementally. That's what that does for us. It's astronomy. Because we don't know the astronomy. So there's nothing wrong with the story. The story's fine. We don't have to criticize people because they say the story. The empowerment is that you know the astronomy of it. Jesus does die on the cross. Not died. Every year. Jesus is the light of the world. Jesus is my Lord and Savior. Because Jesus is the actual Son. But they're playing you and got you thinking it's blonde hair, blue eyes. Man. So that's why I rejected it. Like the so-called other Afrocentric folks. Like the people who celebrate Kwanzaa as a substitute for Christmas. I ain't say, Milana Karenga said that. But I've heard over hundreds of people say that in a 25-year period. That they celebrate Kwanzaa as their Christmas. Then what? You are still empowering the Europeans. You ain't done jack crap. Because what? You just gave your holiday to the Europeans. He distorted it. So because they distorted it, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? Restore it. You're not supposed to let it maintain this distortion. Restore it. Restore its meaning to the people. Not come up with something new. I'm going to give that to the Europeans, man. I'm going to give my land to the Europeans. I'm not going to fight for my land. And either way, I'm going to China. I ain't fighting for my land. And Europeans can have this. You'll be a fool. Fight for your land. Oh, I'm going to China. I'm going somewhere. I ain't fighting for my land. When Europeans got control of land, we ain't going to fight for land? Well, they distorted the holiday. We ain't going to restore? We're going to try to find a new land? We don't need to make up. You don't need to make something up. Why make something up? Restore that which already exists. Questions, criticism, comments. I'm open to criticism too. I'm not immune to criticism. I don't know what I'm talking about. You got to show me that I don't know what I'm talking about. You can't just say it. Saying it doesn't mean nothing. You got to show me that I don't know what I'm talking about. All right? So you're going to see that the days get longer. Now, you have two pillars in masonry. The two pillars of Boaz and Jachin. Boaz and Jachin. Boaz, the winter solstice, Jachin, the summer solstice. Now, St. John's Day, the festival of St. John's Day, which is celebrated by Masons on June 24th, and some be celebrated after that, but June 24th is marked as a celebration for the festival of St. John's Day, which is celebrated by Masonry all over the world. That is the biggest real celebration worldwide. Let's talk about what it is. You know, it's June 24th. It's actually the celebration of the summer solstice. The summer solstice marked June 21st or June 22nd. All right? Now, St. John's Day, John, the etymology for John means fish, coming from the Babylonian name Onis, O-A-N-N-E-S, O-A-N-N-E-S, Onis, fish. Fish is a Dogon symbol for what? Fertility. A Philistine is Dagon. Dagon. All right, the dag. All right, a Philistine. Fish. An ancient symbol of fertility. Once again, they're taking your stuff. And notice that the Europeans use this name, John. Why? See, how do I start figuring this stuff out? It's called etymology. I asked the question, why John? Why the name John? You know what gives you the answer? Etymology. Now you know why the name John. Because it's not, they don't do anything, the Europeans don't do anything arbitrarily. It's not an eating, meaning, mighty, mo, catch a dog in by his toe, if he hollers. That's not how it works. They maintain the ancient science and culture for themselves. For themselves. They align with the power for themselves. And tell you that it's something else. Lying to you. Speaking for themselves. All right? So now, the summer solstice is the reverse. The sun, at its highest point of elevation, hovers for 3 days. The festival of St. John's Day is marking the cornerstone or keystone. The keystone or cornerstone is marking the summer solstice point. And they have these two festivals. They have your apron on. They wear your apron and they wear your gloves, your fez. And the big, huge celebration, and they actually lowering the cornerstone. So you mark the cornerstone or the summer solstice and helps you find the other solstice, the winter solstice, and the equinoctial point, the vernal equinox and the autumnal equinox. So it's a ritual of an ancient practice of marking the summer solstice point. That's all. Of course, our brothers and sisters are smoked in the head. They don't know that. They just go through it. I mean, to them it's just a ceremony. Yeah, St. John's Day Festival. Yeah. You coming out for St. John's Day? Festival? You coming out for St. John's Day? Don't even know that's astronomy. By the ancestors. Meanwhile, the Europeans waxing rich on us. All right? So you have the two pillars of Boaz and Jachin. You also have the point within the circle. The point within the circle and the two parallel lines marking the Boaz and Jachin, the summer solstice, winter solstice, the summer solstice point. This is the sun, and this is the path of the earth revolving around the sun. The sun, the summer solstice sun rises in the northeast. The statue of William Penn atop of Philadelphia, City Hall, Philadelphia, faces northeast. It's an observatory. So the summer solstice sun rises in the northeast. The sun, not the east. Summer solstice sun rises in the northeast. The spring sun rises in the east. The summer solstice sun rises in the northeast. So they lay the cornerstone in the northeast corner. That's why. It's all astronomy. And once I started studying astronomy, it just opened up for me. So in order for the Bible to make sense, you have to know the astronomy. And etymology helps too. Other than you, it's just stories. You're just repeating stories. No power. You're just repeating stories. That's all. You ain't really saying nothing. Yes, sister.
I have a question
yes.
regarding the globe. Can you explain how it actually, we learned that it's a circle?
Oh, it's oblong. Right, yeah, you're talking about the earth, right? Yeah, well, elliptic. It's an elliptic path. It's not round like that. It's elliptic. Or what's called, yeah, it's not like this. But you'll see some maps. Yeah, more. Right. See, if you have what's called apogee and perigee. There would be no need for apogee or perigee. Apogee, let me explain. I just said two words. Apogee. All right. Apogee. Apple, Greek, away. G, earth. All right. Para, G. Para, as in periscope, near, earth. All right? So the concept of apogee and perigee is because the earth is not round like that. All right? Or because the elliptic path is this. This is the elliptic path, actually. It doesn't go in the path like this. I know they have the point within the circle. It does this. And that's not a proper orientation of the point within the circle because it would be shaped like this. The elliptic path of the earth. Yeah, the path of the earth. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's more the path of the earth. So there's times where the sun, all right, earth is closer to the sun than other periods of time. All right? Other questions? Well, to fool, but for control. So the key is to control. Let me give more detail because fool the masses wouldn't be I would want to give an explanation. All right. This is our way of life. This is not some ceremony for us. This is a way of life. Agriculture, navigating ships, calendar making, map making, positioning particular buildings, aligning with the stars. This is our way of life. So it's control to get you away from your way of life. So to get you away from your way of life, we're talking about with your mind in tune with nature. Your whole way of life, the ways you do things, raising your family, planning food. The whole way of life is to destroy your way of life. Control. So now you what? Depending on them. They have orchestrated your way of life. Controlling your land, your government, using colorful laws, colorful courts, distorting the Bible, distorting religion, They've distorted. They have used social engineering to orchestrate your way of life. You're not thinking, say, well, yeah, see, I think for myself. No, you don't. That's a lie and a half. Europeans don't control my mind. That's a lie. That's a lie. You don't think outside the scope of the meaning of words that they gave you. You think of a word, there's what? A thought or meaning that's connected to the word that they gave it. You don't think outside of that box. You can't. You can't. You're not thinking outside the box that they created. You can do all the meditation and all that. I want to meditate. Almighty God. See, there you go. You just said, there you go. You said Almighty God. You said, there you go. Not knowing that God is thought. There you go. Oh, Jehovah. There you go. Not knowing that Jehovah is the actual Son. See, there you go. See? You're not even, the Spirit in me. Almighty Spirit. Come. See, there you go. See? I'm going to prove to you. I'll prove to you that you ain't thinking beyond this cup that they give you. Name, say the words. You're going to say words, right? You're going to look up words in the dictionaries that they, European control dictionaries. You're not going to look at it means that they apply to it. It's not going to be outside that scope. All right? Educated white teachers, we got to clarify that, Gina. Oh, man, all right.
Most of our lives, and it's just overnight. I just can't change it all the way it really is. And I understand now, since some of us are waking up, Africa has a buildup of churches. Wow. Now that's some heavy stuff. So these classes that I've learned, which I hope we all are going to like and glad to learn, because it's not an overnight thing for me, especially dealing with children of language. So those that I might learn, I have to pass it on to my sons and daughters. But just learn the etymology of words, how we break things down in different, it makes our lives much more richer. We have to pass on. And thank heaven for teachers like you to help us in understanding this.
Right on, brother.
We as so-called black people, sometimes what I find, we get on an ego trip and we learn with something more than others. They see dollar signs, and you got to sort of kiss their ass for them to help you.
I've seen that. I've seen that.
It is
I've seen that.
I don't want to say it's complicated, but it's something that each and every one of us has to be broken down for what we really learn. Because I've had news for you. Since these classes haven't come in 10 years,
that doesn't work.
I don't say something from nobody. I say no bullshit from nobody. And then if somebody don't know, I'm going to ask or go and get somebody with much more knowledge than what I am. But you got to, when you deal with your, I feel when you deal with your spirit, with this good knowledge that they're teaching us? It's written in your DNA. When you have to think, it's written inside of you automatically. It's just that with classes like this, with these good teachers, they'll bring it out so we can pass it on to our children. Not our kids, but our children.
Kid means go. That's right. All right, right on, brother. Right on. Any other questions? All right, so getting back to Christmas. Now you have. Let's talk about Santa Claus and the reindeer. You have the Big Dipper. I have here 2 points here. Point. That's too long. Well, now these 2 points. These 2 points here. Now, the Santa Claus sleigh, the chariot, is actually the Big Dipper. Now, Santa Claus goes around the world in a 24-hour period. Well, the Big Dipper makes this complete cycle in a 24-hour period. Once again, once you know the astronomy, then the stories make sense. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I don't celebrate, man. I'm an Afrocentric folk. I celebrate Kwanzaa. Christmas is the white man's holiday. I'm African. I ain't dealing with no white man holiday. I celebrate Kwanzaa. And I hear that. I'm not saying Malala Karenga said that. I've heard hundreds of people go over 25-year period. I was one of those quote-unquote, Afrocentric folk where I knew. I ain't know Jack. I ain't know Diddley. All right? So now, the Big Dipper, you got the Little Dipper the other way. Little Dipper. All right. Now, Polaris is right next to this part of the Little Dipper. All right? Now, navigators use Polaris to navigate. Because Polaris is fixed. Polaris doesn't move. Polaris is fixed. So now you have, to find Polaris, you follow these 2 points of the Big Dipper, right? And that leads you right to Polaris. So the Santa Claus, the Big Dipper, goes around Polaris in a 24-hour period. And it forms the position that the Big Dipper makes as far as its geometry is that of the swastika. They're taking your stuff again. The swastika is in the sky. The path of the Big Dipper forms the swastika in the sky. But they're taking your stuff. Of course. Hey, where that evil zero? Oh, Hitler. Man, you killed the Jews. Why you wearing that stuff? The swastika. Oh, got the swastika on, see? And that evil, that's a and we use both directions. And after those siege up, you'll see the swastika in stone Yes. How many sevens? You tell me. You talking this? It's too light. It's 4. Because you got both directions. Let me explain. This. Right? And this. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Shava, and Shiva. Brahma is your creative force in nature, Vishnu, your preserving force, and Shiva is your regenerative. It's the regenerative, not destroying. It's the regenerative force. Abraham, coming from the Brahma. The word Brahma is Sanskrit. The name Abraham is derived from the Sanskrit word Brahma. All right? It's not somebody, a man in the Bible. Vishnu. And you have the different names, different and worldwide. This is the Trinity. Yes, this is what Indian is. The name Indian is anglicized. All right, so since you said that, so let's go with some etymology. Sindhu, Sidhu, is Sanskrit. Hindu is Arabic. Hindu is not Sanskrit. When there's a book called, I'll give it support, the Medieval India under Mohammedan rule. Medieval, MEDIEVAL, Medieval India, that's the name of the book, under Mohammedan rule from 700 to 1400. The Turks controlled Sindhu. The Sanskrit name Sindhu was Arabicized to Hindu, where they actually SH. SHINDU, where the H was called, the removal of the initial letter or sound is called aphoresis. The linguistic methodology of changing the sound, aphoresis, Greek word, APHAERESIS, APHAERESIS, aphoresis. The linguistic methodology of sound shift, of removing the initial letter or sound in the word is called aphoresis. So under the Ottoman rule of that area, you have some Persian words and Sanskrit words that were Arabicized. Indian or India is an anglicized. Europeans don't make words up. There's no such thing as making words up. That don't exist. Not with Europeans. That's with us. With us it does. Yes, with us. Europeans, that don't exist. Making words up and Europeans doesn't go together. Making words up and Europeans us, yes, but not them. They transliterate ancient words to what? Dramatic languages. That's not making words. That's called transliteration. So they didn't make up the word Indian. It's a transliteration from Hindu to Indian. So you have under Mohammedan rule, 700 years, even going to Vietnam area. Now, how do you do this? She asked me one question, and I just, all right, because I can give expanded explanations, that's why, to the study. All right, I'll go into that later. I'm going to stay on this. I'm going to go into that later when I get into the history. All right, so I'm about to go into something else, but I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to stay on this. Go into it later. Now, the Christmas tree, Sirius, I'm using black because it's. Now, the star at the top of the Christmas tree is Sirius, the dog star. Yeah, go ahead. All right, let me explain. See? How you do this? All right, let me explain. We control Al-Andalusia for a period of 800 years. There's a book called, a 3-volume book called The History of the Moorish Empire in Europe. The History of the Moorish Empire in Europe by S.P. Scott. The History of the Moorish Empire in Europe by S.P. Scott. Volumes 1, Volumes 2, and Volumes 3. Each volume is thick. All right? So he goes and talks about, outlines the Moors bringing life, economic, cultural life throughout Europe. Cordoba was the center, was the economic center of Al-Andalusia. Let me finish it. We had built 7. Oh, I'm sorry. The History of the Moorish Empire in Europe by S.P. Scott. Volumes 1, 2, and 3. I highly recommend you get them. You can get all 3 for 66 notes. Get all 3, 66 notes, forgotten books. Go to forgotten books. Just Google. You'll Google the book, the title of the book. It'll take you to forgotten books. Forgotten books, we print them. You get all 3 for 66 notes. We print it, 66 notes. All right? Highly recommend them. Yes. Yes, I met him. He transitioned. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to stay on this right now because I'm trying to answer the question here. I'm just going to give more enlightenment to the Arab. All right. So we built libraries, hospitals, paved streets, street light, irrigation. We were 17 libraries in Cordoba. The largest library in Cordoba housed over 600,000 books. Cotton mills, built medical books. We translated medical books, architectural books from Egyptian, Greek into Arabic, Chinese into Arabic. So that was like the center of Europe. Europeans marveled us. We educated you. We brought Europe out of the dark ages. So when the Europeans took control, they translated the books written in Arabic, or translated into Arabic, they translated into Latin. Arabic became the world language because of Moorish rule. Then Latin became the world language. The Europeans, taking over, in translating medical books, architecture books, math books from Arabic into Latin. There's over 4,000 words. Over 4,000 Arabic words in Spanish. In 1567, Philip II, who is the grandson of Ferdinand and Isabella, married in 1463, merged their kingdoms, Aragon and Castile, and strengthened to defeat us, the Moors. All right? Weakened the power, meaning that they took control, we gained control of our Andalusia. And whereas we brought light, we encouraged reading, we encouraged education, they what? Enforced the Inquisition and snuffed out their light. We didn't snuff out light, we brought light, knowledge. You were killed if you caught with literature. It was forbidden. But on our rule, it wasn't. Life flourished throughout Europe, not only our Andalusia, throughout Europe. One of the 16-year-old boy asked me about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, at the class in Philadelphia. He said, well, he didn't ask me, he made a statement. He said, he was standing next to me. He said, yeah, they only teach European history in the schools. I said, that's not true. That's not true. I'm going to explain. European history is not taught in the schools. You didn't learn European history. I'm going to explain. I'm not going to just say it. Trust me, now you know how I am. You know how I roll. Anybody knows me, you know how I roll. You know I ain't going to leave you hanging. You didn't learn European history in school. European history is not taught in school. Why? To teach European history, you got to teach about what? Thank you. I'm going to back it up. I ain't done. To teach European history, you got to teach what? Thank you. It's almost like one and the same. So you ain't learned European history in school. J. Rosabrook. All right, here we go. The History of the Moorish Empire in Europe, volumes 1, 2, and 3. S.P. Scott. Here we go. I ain't done. All right. J. Rosabrook, Nature Knows No Color Line. J. Rosabrook, Nature Knows No Color Line, Chapter 6. The Negro as Moor, Negro ancestry, and the coat of arms of European families. The Negro as Moor, Negro ancestry, and aristocratic families. Chapter 6. He shows the coat of arms of aristocratic families in Europe. Names, over 70 names derived from Moor, various languages, French, Belgium, Dutch, Italian, German, Danish, names derived from Moor. You know that in school? Ancient and Modern Britons, volumes 1 and 2, J. McRitchie. Moors, progenitors of Irish and Scottish clans. The word Scot means dark. Dublin means dark. You know that in school? European history now. I'm talking European history. They teach European history in school? We're talking European history now. They talk European history in school? All right. Or not. So they don't even teach European history in school. Because you cannot teach European history without teaching about the European existence does not exist outside of us. The European existence doesn't exist outside of us. It ain't Europeans over here and we over there. That's a false paradigm. The paradigm is false. It ain't Europeans over there and we over here. The paradigm is false. So there's no such thing as European history outside of us. It could be synonymous. European history, Moorish history. I can say my book, Moors and Masonry. Oh, that's about European history. I'll be correct. I'll write about European history, Moors and Masonry. Moorish history, it's the same thing. And this is what I conveyed to him. He's like, oh, man. He's like, oh, man, thank you. And I was dropping it. Boom, 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 boom. I want to clarify that misconception. That's a misconception. All right? Questions? So, yes, brother. Budget leaking. Yes. France, Sicily, Italy, right? Southern France, the dominating southern France, Sicily, Italy as well. All right, England. All right. The children of Moor, y'all familiar with that. Also, the Moorish Empire. The Moorish Empire, it's the title of the book. Budget Meekin. Meakin, the Moorish Empire. Budget Meekin. All right? We have to understand our power. Tremendous world power. Tremendous world power. This whole this concept of the Europeans. See, Robert Davis, professor of history at Ohio State University, states that European slavery does not fit the theme of European world conquest and colonization, which is central to European scholarship. I'll say it again. Robert Davis, Christian Slave, Muslim Master, title of his book. Christian Slave, Muslim Master, Ohio professor of history, Ohio State University, states European slavery does not fit the theme of European world conquest and colonization, which is central to European scholarship. On the back of Moors and Masonry, you'll see it. And back of Moors and Masonry. By the way, my book Moors and Masonry, is sold for $50. I should have it next time I come. All right? I should have it next time I come. You know, Josh, should have it next time I come. That's my layout designer. All right? Should have it next time I come. I have 200 black and white pages and 50 color pages. On the back cover, I had Brother Atif draw a picture for me of 4 Europeans bound in chains. This is the depiction of history. This is true depiction of history. This is European history that you said you learn in school, but you don't learn no European history in school. All right? Bound in chains, 4 Europeans. And Moor on one end, another Moor on the other end. Wearing dark olive Moors on both ends wearing feathers and holding up a scimitar. I'll make T-shirts of that, banners, you name it, posters, you name it. And that's going to be, the book is 8.5 by 11, all right? And the picture is going to cover half the page size of the back cover, all right? So I'm going to really push that picture because you don't see that picture like in public. That's the true depiction. We, during the 15, 16, 1700s, we were the seafaring, commercial, trading, and mercantile power. Europeans suppressed that. So you only see yourselves as subjects in relationship to them. They were paying tribute to you. You were seizing their ships. In 1192, you have the Trinitarian, which is a redemption order, a charity order that was established in Spain. That was in Italy. The Trinitarian established in Italy. Trinitarian, Trinitarian, 1192. Or that year, right? Much earlier. Yeah, 1192. Correct on the year. 1203, the Mercedarian. 1203, the Mercedarian established in Spain. 1203. These are religious, these are orders, charity orders, that were established for the sole purpose of raising monies for poor Europeans who could not afford their ransom money to get their loved ones out of our captivity. Today they raise money for home, but that's not, these charity orders today, that's not the origin of it. The origin of charity orders was to raise money to get Europeans out of Moorish captivity. They had charity boxes. Charity boxes, I got you, outside of churches. Charity boxes. The purpose of that was raise money. But now they continued it, but its true purpose has been buried. Standard accounts of European captivity, enslavement, and ransoming under the Moors. They maintain locked boxes outside the churches marked, quote, for the recovery of the poor slaves, end quote. Clerics encourage the wealthy to leave money in their wills for redemption. Redemption means, redeeming Europeans held in Moorish captivity. The orders kept careful, the Trinitarian orders and the Mercedarian orders, kept careful records of their successes. Spanish Trinitarians went on 72 redemption expeditions in the 1600s, averaging 220 releases each. That's 15,000. 15,000 in the 1600s. 72 times 220 is what? Over 15,000. That's what they redeemed. They had to raise money. That's the power you had. Now, they teach European history in schools. I can prove to you that European history is not taught in schools. I ain't going to just say it. I can prove it. European history is not taught in schools. That's a lie. So you don't even learn. So what are you learning then? You ain't learning Moorish history, and you ain't learning European history. So what are you learning then? You're not learning European history, so that's out. So don't say you're learning European history, that's out. So we already proved that you're not. So what are you learning? Oh, Disney World, all right, I'll accept that. Yeah, with that? No, you're not learning witchcraft, because you don't know what witchcraft is. Witchcraft is learning how to manipulate the elements. Lift this chair with your mind. That's witchcraft. That's witchcraft. You should be asking him. I can only. You meant it in a distorted sense. I know. Yeah, but all right. Let me. But that's not witchcraft then. All right. Now, because it could be used for good, but the witchcraft, in the true sense, because Wicca, and also the Latin word is vis. The root word is vis. It means to see. So you're looking at seeing. So witchcraft deals with mind science, manipulating the elements. That's witchcraft. All right? Yes. We have a question over here. Yes, White Gold by Milton, Giles Milton. Yeah, White Gold, Giles Milton. That's one of the books I've referenced. Yes, I got about 200, brother. I've seen over 200 books, brother. You know what I mean? Probably too many you can name that I haven't seen. All right? Yeah, White Gold, Giles Milton. He gives an account of his experience and held in Moorish captivity, and writes about his account. White gold, referring to Europeans as white. That's all. That's the title of the book. I'm telling you, that's why it's called White Gold. He's referring to Europeans as white, gold, precious, We held them in captivity. We asking for a high ransom. I'm explaining why the title white gold. All right, we know the Europeans aren't white, but Charles Milton is referring to Europeans as white. Gold referring to precious, finance, because we asking for high ransom. That's all. That's why it's white gold. I mean, I understand the title of the book. I mean, it's a distorted title, but I understand the title. That's why the title white gold. All right. Are you looking at 700, 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, 1,500, 600? What's that? No. Yeah, but I'm talking about our holding them in captivity. You're talking about a period of stuff. You're talking about extensive wars and captivity and, under the Ottoman Empire and the Moorish Empire. You're talking about tremendous power. Land and sea. Tremendous power. They covered us up. And they got us thinking that, we came on some ships somewhere. We controlled the seas. No, they're not white at all. They're not white today either. No, we know because it's modern English. So, that white crown of Upper Egypt, the word white wasn't used because it's modern English. All right? Absolutely. But they're not white either. Today they're not white. Never were. Because it means rulership. All right? White refers, the title white goes back to the white crown of Upper Egypt. It never, ever, ever, ever meant complexion. Ever, never, ever, not even today. They're lying to you. It has nothing to do with complexion. They're lying. The white crown of Upper Egypt. White refers to rulership and sovereignty. Nothing to do with or complexion. They're lying. So your co-workers are benefiting. They may not know this, but they sure go around saying they're white. So they're benefiting from the lie. But what? They check white off. They call themselves white. They say white power, white man, white people, white Americans, white folks. You call them whitey. You know what I mean? You're empowering them. You're empowering them. And they got you thinking refers to complexion. So they maintain the power. They maintain the power. They maintain the titles. They know the history. They're not asleep, you are. All right? Yes, brother, I got you.
How would you go back on like First World War, Second World War?
How would you go back to find true history?
Yeah, for the course of the First World War.
Yeah, but that's, brother, I'm going to stay on this. Hear me out, brother. I'm going to stay on this. All right? I'm going to have you do some research, and you're going to bring it back to me. All right? My area of research is what I'm talking about right now. All right? I can't answer that of how to, because I haven't done, this is my area. I can talk this all day long, fam. I can talk this all day long. This is my area of research, over 200 books, letters, treaties, you name it, bro, archives, you name it. I can talk this all day long, all right, all day long. I'm going to stay on what I know, what I researched for over 20 years. I can talk this all day long, fam. Trust me, all day long. I can listen and I can rattle off books, rattle off scholars' names all day long, all right? So that's called research that you're going to do. You're going to do that research. I mean, if you think that's important to do, I felt that this was important. So I spent most of my adult life doing this research. All right? Question. And I got the book in your hand in 3 weeks because most of my adult life I spent doing this research and study. All right? What I do in the book, I challenge the readers to re-examine the transatlantic slave trade story in the context of the diplomatic relationship between the Moors and European powers, Europeans paying us ransom, our having wars and battles with the Europeans. They have suppressed it. Notice that these African scholars don't even talk about it. I don't reference any African scholars in Moors and Masonry. Why not? I don't reference any. I don't reference any African scholars. Tell me why. No, because they don't do this. They don't do this research. You can't give me a book. How can I reference the African scholar? What African scholars you know that are doing? Well, J. Rogers would be one that I've referenced in one of my books, but not more than Mason, but J. Rogers would probably be one. On what, John? Give me a book that he's talked on what? So that we have more. John Henry Clark wrote about Moors holding Europeans in captivity. John Henry Clark wrote about Moors in the coat of arms of European families. All right. I'll rest my case. They talk about the slave trade bullcrap story. So I can't even reference them in my book. Because that's not, they don't even touch, they don't smell this, brother. They're not smelling this. Right. They're not smelling this. They're not even touching this. Here we go. You got this vast history of hundreds of thousands of Europeans held in Moorish captivity. We seized thousands of ships. Dog people. Now looking at Osama bin Laden. Now let me talk about this. Abdullah. How did he come to look like that now? In China and Indonesia. You know, how did they come look like that? We had Europeans as sex, quote unquote, slaves. We were getting it on. This was going on for centuries. In Indonesia, Vietnam, China, Japan, they keep ones that look like us in the villages. So you think that everybody in China looks like the ones you see in Chinese restaurants. That's a lie. They are using social engineering. They keep the ones that look like me in the villages. So you don't see them on TV. You don't see them in Chinese restaurants. So you think that everybody in China looks like the ones in Chinese restaurants. Lie, lie, lie. Talk to me, sister. She was shocked. She was shocked at the word. Well, she would have. I know. See? That's not exactly. Social engineering, sister. Social engineering. Nanoka Rashidi, African president in early Europe, Asia. He shows pictures of in the Java Mountains, colossal, broad noses, thick lips. If I were to take that to the Chinese restaurant and put the book, that picture, next to them, they wouldn't even. So now, how did it come to look like that? Yeah. Before, yes, I was talking about the features of the ancient people, and I'm going into how did it come to look like that because of we had Europeans that sex slaves, we had auction blocks, and I would come in, I'll go purchase 300 Europeans in my helm. I'll be getting it on. I'm saying there's a logical explanation, fam. They don't just happen. You're talking about centuries, though. We're not talking about 10 years. We're talking about centuries. Having Europeans as sex slaves was the heyday. This was the thing. This was the thing to do. Blonde hair, blue eyes, the thing to do. In our homes. So what? Enlighten up. Indonesia, Vietnam, China, Hindustan, Sicily, southern France. They're getting on. So they got him thinking that the Moors look like Obama and Osama bin Laden. So where are these African scholars doing this research? Then I can go reference. And my book, Moors and Masonry, give it to me. J. Rogers. And he got awards up to. J. Rogers was recognized in France, of course not here, for his research. Well respected. I'll come back. 50 notes for the book. No, I'm scheduled to come back the 4th Wednesday. Yeah, it's not going to be ready next week. You're looking at 3 weeks. Yeah. So about next time I come back, should have the book. Yeah, the book next time I come back. All right? So understanding that this was a major phenomenon, all right, for centuries. All right? Now you have Europeans. In J. Rogers' book, he shows the coat of arms, aristocratic European families. Charlotte Sophia, Charlotte, North Carolina, named after Queen Sophia. She was Princess of Germany in the Council of George III, King George III. Light out of sister. You're talking European history. That people say they teach learning European history in school. They're not learning no European history in school. That's a lie. It's a lie. All right? Any questions before I go on? All right, move on. There's some reference here. There's a book called British Captives from the Mediterranean to the Atlantic, 1563 to 1760. British Captives from the Mediterranean to the Atlantic, 1563 to 1760, by Nabil, Nabil, Matar, Matar. He teaches as professor of history at the University of Minnesota. The role, on page 200 of his book, the role that monarchy, parliament, trading companies, and churches had in ransoming English captives from Moorish captivity from the reign of Queen Elizabeth I to King George II. What are these African scholars writing about this? It's African history, ain't it? Dark and light hour folks. So they ain't right about this. This ain't no little. This is danger. You're talking about fast history, bro. Fast. I'm showing you this is not no minor 2 years. You're talking a period of 700, 800,000 year period, man. I ain't done. Here we go. As 18th century historian Joseph Morgan, 18th century, 1700, as 18th century historian Joseph Morgan put it, this I take to be the time when those corsairs were in their zenith. Now, this is what we're talking about. This is the period we was in their zenith, 1600. Amnesty records show that during this time, the Moors seized European English ships taking no fewer than 466 vessels between 1609 to 1616, and 27 more vessels from near Plymouth in 1625. And this is what Joseph Morgan is talking about, where we was at in our zenith. Europeans, though, of course he's European. Not African scholars, European. African history. What is this? You talking about Joseph Morgan was a historian. He's quoting. This is some of these quotes. You're European, Joseph Morgan. It was a 18th century historian, which is the 1700s. He's saying that we were at our zenith during the 1600s, these are European ships. This is African history. What do you think, fam? That's what I'm showing you, fam. I'm showing you, brother, I'm saying to you, I'm proving to you, we were in position of power. We were the seafaring, commercial, trading power that they're suppressing. How could they have transported? Well, they weren't traveling the seas freely, fam. They had to pay us tribute. It was called tribute treaties. The tribute treaties were negotiated for the purpose of Europeans being able to travel the sea without being molested. Now, be careful with that. See, one of the falsehoods is that what they call these pirates were working for themselves. No. I'm talking about government. I'm talking about beys, Emperor Morocco's. These were not the people who seized the ship were not independent workers out there. No. These were tribute treaties between countries. I'm dispelling all that, fam. I'm dispelling that pirate bullcrap. Tribute treaties between Morocco and France, Morocco and the Netherlands, Morocco and England. Tribute treaties. They had to pay us ransom, or we would seize their ships. Sometimes we still seize the ship anyway. The Morocco right here, fam. Now, with the modern name America. America is Morocco. Am I clear enough on that? All right. And there's a book called Unexpected Faces in Ancient America. Unexpected Faces in Ancient America by Alexander von Humboldt. I have 150 photos, stoneheads, figurines, masks, and statuettes with broad noses and thick lips. Unexpected Faces in Ancient America by Alexander von Humboldt. Alexander von V-O-N Humboldt. Humboldt. T-A-N. Humboldt. It's German. Remember, the V, it's a V sound in German. The W is a V sound. Humboldt. Alexander von Humboldt. Alexander von Humboldt. I have on my website, Moorish civil letter, M-O-O-R-I-S-H, all right, MOORISHCIVILETTER.net. MOORISHCIVILETTER.net. Go to the photo gallery. I have all the photos that's in this book, Unexpected Faces of Ancient America. They came before Columbus. I didn't refer them up. They came before Columbus. Where these scholars at? African scholars. Other than Ivan Van Sertima, J. Rogers. And John Henry Clark did mention this. John Henry Clark And then there was a thing with John Henry Clark. Dr. Ben talked about the African presence in ancient America. It was I saw it on YouTube back in the day. All right. Yeah, photo gallery. Go to the gallery. You'll see the photos. Stoneheads, figurines, statuettes, and masks. Social engineering, y'all. I mean, information is available, but, the Europeans control the literature. Our people think that the native people, look like the ones on reservations. In fact, the ones on reservations wouldn't be referred to as native. In fact, when they talk about the indigenous people, we're not even including the discussion. Barack Obama for 6 years, for the past 6 years, Barack Obama hosted the Indian Council. He hosted the Indian Congress at the White House. Those on reservations. Barack Obama hosted those on reservations at the White House for 6 straight years. We're not even included in the discussion of the rights of indigenous people. June of this year, the American Declaration of Rights of Indigenous People was signed by the Organization of American States. I'm writing an open letter, which will be in my book, American United States in the book. I'm going to put out a paper called Indigenous American, where I got the. My piece came out. Oh, well. Well, in the letter, in reference section, I referenced that the Organization of American States, proposed to the United States occupying power to include any discussion relative to the rights of indigenous people, include Moors, classified as black, Negro, colored, Latino, Spanish, Puerto Rican, Indian, West Indian, the discussion of rights of indigenous people, and to deal with the protections of the rights, and put us under the protections of the rights of indigenous people declaration on the United Nations rights of indigenous people, as well as the American Declaration of Rights of Indigenous People. Because when they talk about rights of indigenous people, we're not included. They only talk about those on reservations. Well, Obama had them at the White House for 6 years. 6 straight years. When he signed the rights of indigenous people in 2010, they had them at the White House for 6 straight years. He didn't have y'all. Didn't go to Taj. And he would, come on. Since 2010, it's the European types that have benefited from the rights of indigenous people. The far-out Indians. The far-out Indians are benefiting. Come on, man. So we have to be more proactive. I'm looking to be more proactive in that. That's why I'm writing this. After I have the open letter. The open letter's already done. All right? It's going to be my book, American. It's an open letter, and I'm going to print 100,000 copies as the feature article of my paper, my new newspaper coming out, called Indigenous American. And guess what my logo is? Stonehead. Olmec head. No. I know they know. Yeah. It's putting social pressure on them. Right. Our saying they know is not good enough. Mm-hmm. We have to be proactive here. That's where 100,000 papers, the open letter, being They didn't know it's not going to get it done. It's not going to get it done. All right? Question? Yes. All right. All right. One, he's not the Pope. I'm going to explain. No, you know I'm going to explain something. All right, so I got to clear that up first. Do that first. He's not the Pope. Right? What do you mean he's not the Pope? Everybody else in the world calls him the Pope. Man, what do you mean he's not the Pope? Everybody calls him the Pope, man. He's the Pope. Everybody calls him the Pope. What do you mean he's not the Pope? Yeah, he is the Pope. Everybody calls him he's the substitute. Egyptian ruler, using the Egyptian title, Pope, Ptah, P-A-T-H, or T-H, yeah, Ptah. Now, did I clarify that first? That he's not the Pope. He's the substitute Egyptian ruler. Pope is an Egyptian title. All right? So let's first do that first, because we don't want to call him something that he's not. All right? He sits on the throne of world power. All right? He sits on the throne of world power, the seat of St. Peter's. Peter is derived from Ptah. The white crown of Upper Egypt he wears. All right? So they maintain the power. They maintain ancient sovereignty. All right? So let's first deal with that. I have not studied the letter in detail. That's not something that I really teach. All right? I teach this here. All right? Well, what do you want to know about the letter? I've read it once. Oh, is it authentic? Oh, now you question the authenticity of it. I mean, your question is, did he really write that? That's your question. That's what you mean. Did he really write that letter? All right. I don't have a way of proving its authenticity. I mean, I'm just taking a scholarly approach. I don't have a way of proving its authenticity. All right. I mean, good question. I love the question. Wonderful question. Give me a hand. Wonderful question. Wonderful question. Is it authentic? Did he write the letter? Right. I did ask that question for myself too. That I don't have a way of proving that. All right. Because one thing I'm not going to do is make something up, because that loses my credibility. I'm not going to make something up. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to just make something, oh, yeah, it is, and I can't prove that it is. Saying that it is means nothing. You're asking me to prove it. If you're asking me is it authentic, then I have to prove to you that it is. Saying that he's talking about the letter that the substitute Egyptian ruler wrote to Obama. He's asking for authenticity of the letter. He's really asking, did he really write that letter? All right. Good question. And I like that. And I'm saying we need to be thinking like that. We need to question. All right? Yeah, giving us, the African Americans, he uses African Americans. All right? He also used African Americans too in the letter. African Americans referred in the letter. All right? All right, so he's in the letter, he makes it known that the African Americans, using the term African American, that's what he uses, and that's in the letter, are the indigenous people to the land. All right? Yes, that's in the letter. No, it's not. Christianity is not a farce. All right. That's, all right. I'm saying, I was just saying Christianity is not a farce. That's all I was saying. And I clarified what Christianity is. But, all right? Because if I say to you, Jesus is the light of the world, that's a true statement. There's nothing false about that. If I said to you, Jesus is the light of the world, that's a true statement. That's a factual statement. Jesus is the light of the world. Yes. We know that. I know that the people think Jesus is a European with blonde hair. I know that. But the statement itself is true. I don't have to qualify, fam. I ain't got to qualify, fam. I ain't got to say the real Christianity. What this? Oh, hold on. What's this here? The real eraser. It's either eraser or it's not. It's either Christianity or it's not. I ain't got to qualify the real, the false, the fake, the this. I ain't got to. Let me explain. What's this? What's the origin of it? What does it mean? All right. The zodiac. I, master, the zodiac. Fourth signs of the cross. Zodiac. What's fake about that? Because you don't know what it means doesn't mean it's fake. That this itself, because you don't know its true origin. Because you don't know its true origin doesn't mean that it's fake. Because you don't know its true origin. The station is the cross. False sign of the zodiac. Because you don't know its true origin doesn't mean it's false. That's all. That's what I'm talking about. That's all. It's that they're distorting its true origin. The Bible. It's science. Jeremiah's book. Jeremiah, Egypt, the light of the world, volumes 1 and 2. What Jeremiah does is that he traces the etymology. He traces the names in the Bible, the names and places in the Bible. What he does, he traces the words back to the Egyptian origin. It's astronomy. Jeremiah is going to say, oh, yeah. Jeremiah didn't throw the Bible away. What did Jeremiah do? I know you're European, but what did he do? What did Jeremiah do? He used what? Etymology. And what? Change the words. That's all I'm saying, fam. That's it. So that's where I'm coming from when I say that's Christianity. No, I ain't got to qualify it. Because if it ain't Christianity, then something else. All right? The seat of St. Peter's, what's that? Your throne. That's yours. The mitre, what's that? That's yours. The cross keys, that's yours. The double cross. The top, you got the tropical cross and the galactic cross. Showing what? St. Andrew and St. George. St. George, St. Andrews. St. George, St. Andrews. Tropical cross, the 4 seasons. The galactic cross. Two statues in Egypt. showing you where they got it from. That's my whole point. I told you Karas, I got you. Karas is the mummy. So this thing, false Christianity, it ain't Christianity if it's not Christianity. But you see that the ceremonies that they use, the ceremonies have its ancient origin. It's astronomy. They dealt with some of the Christmas. It's astronomy. Christianity applies to you. What they did was, this is what they did. They applied a ecclesiastical meaning to it and claimed it. You're talking about the ecclesiastical meaning that they applied to it. It's not. Christianity is not political system. That's the ecclesiastical meaning that they apply to it. The origin of it is what? Cosmology. Question. Yes, Ptah. Let's talk about Ptah. The substitute Egyptian ruler. Yes, Ptah. World rulership. Whoever sits in that is the world ruler. Yes, whoever sits in that seat is the world ruler. I'm saying they're still honoring it. He sits in the seat. The seat is. That's the power. That's the title. The Pope is derived from Ptah. Yes. Yes, at Kupta, absolutely. Absolutely. And whoever sits in that seat, whether European or Asiatic, is the world ruler. Because the seat, see, they still maintain the power. They respect the power. They respect the seat. It's that you think it belongs to them because you don't know the history of it. That's all. You think he's the Pope. You don't say substitute Egyptian ruler. You say the Pope. He's not the Pope because that title doesn't belong to him by birthright. The seat doesn't. That's why I say he's not the Pope. No, we're not. All right. See, religion is cosmology. Religion and science is one and the same. They've distorted what religion actually is. Let me see what time it is so I can go into it. Oh, we got. She said, I don't know. All right. Ross just gave me a message. I'm trying to. Ross texted a message that referring to the letter signed by an attorney. He would not use an attorney. No sign, no. Sign, no. Ross is saying that the letter is not authentic. I mean, she says no. I mean, that's what the no means. It's signed by an attorney. He, the substitute Egyptian ruler, will not use an attorney. That's what she's saying. All right, so I just, yeah. Ross Araya texted me. No means no, that the letter is not authentic. Signed because, reason, signed by attorney, he, to substitute Egyptian ruler when I used an attorney. All right. I had to look at it again. All right. All right. So we're going to have to close up. All right. Thank you. You want to close out? All right. Which way? Islam.
Five on the left, two on the right. You got a 45-degree angle. Repeat after me. Allah, Father of the universe.
Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love. Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector. My God.
And my salvation.
By night. And by day.
To his holy prophet.
To his holy prophet.
Udu Ali.
Udu Ali.